The stark white walls of the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Wisconsin stand as a monument to the bizarre, the unbelievable, and the undeniably gruesome. Inside, amidst shrunken heads, bizarre artifacts, and optical illusions, lies a particular exhibit that chills visitors to the bone. A simple Reddit post, a stark declaration, the severed head of Peter Curtin at the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Wisconsin. It's a statement that hangs in the air, heavy with the weight of a dark history, a testament to the depravity that lurks within the human soul. But as we delve into the story, the chilling reality of Curtin's crimes intertwines with another, a contemporary horror of calculated cruelty. Peter Curtin, the vampire of Dusseldorf, stalked the streets of early 20th century Germany. His reign of terror began in the years following the First World War, when poverty and despair provided a backdrop to his escalating violence. Curtin's crimes were a tapestry of brutality, beginning with arson and petty theft before ascending to the unthinkable. He was a predator, a monster who found pleasure in inflicting pain and suffering. He lured young girls and boys to isolated locations, where he would brutally assault and murder them. His name became synonymous with terror, the whisper of his presence enough to send shivers down the spines of those who lived in the bustling industrial city of Dusseldorf, a place then grappling with the widespread social and economic upheaval of the Weimar Republic. The dimly lit alleys and shadowy parks, once places of childhood play, became arenas for his unspeakable acts. Curtin's motivations remain shrouded in the darkness of his psyche. He gave conflicting accounts of his past, claiming a difficult childhood marked by abuse, a narrative that often emerges in the confessions of those who commit extreme violence. He admitted to being a sadist, deriving pleasure from the infliction of pain, a chilling acknowledgement of his internal landscape. But even after his arrest, he seemed detached from the gravity of his actions. He described the acts with a chilling detachment, as if recounting a story from a book, not the deeds of a murderer. Investigators pieced together a mosaic of his life, finding a man who worked odd jobs, drifted from place to place, and harbored a deep-seated resentment and rage that he unleashed with terrifying efficiency. On July 2, 1931, Peter Curtin met his end by guillotine. His final words, reportedly, were a morbid observation. "Tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from my neck? That would be a pleasure to end all pleasures." In a grotesque act, Curtin's severed head was preserved and, incredibly, it eventually found its way to a traveling exhibition of the macabre. Decades after his execution, Curtin's head was on display in Ripley's Believe It or Not museums, the ultimate macabre artifact, a lasting testament to his wickedness and the human capacity for evil. The journey of his head, from a condemned criminal's body to a public spectacle, speaks volumes about society's complex relationship with true crime. But the story of Curtin's head isn't just about the depravity of a serial killer. It's also a commentary on the nature of fascination with violence, the morbid curiosity that draws people to the darkest corners of the human experience. Museums, like Ripley's, capitalize on that fascination, providing a platform for the display of the abnormal and the grotesque. While many might argue this is educational, providing a warning, others would argue it's simply exploitation, a commercialization of tragedy. The decision to display such an artifact, even decades later, raises ethical questions about remembrance, sensationalism, and the potential for glorifying perpetrators. Now, consider this chilling echo of Curtin's darkness, something far more contemporary, unfolding thousands of miles away in a suburban New Jersey town. Imagine the innocent glow of summer twilight, the promise of a simple pleasure, the sweet treat of ice cream. Two teenage girls, Sarah and Emily, perhaps friends since childhood, are enjoying a carefree evening, their laughter echoing down Elm Street, a tree-lined avenue typical of many American suburbs. They are ready to share their dreams and laughter, the mundane beauty of youth unfolding before them. This ordinary scene, a snapshot of youth, of innocence, is irrevocably shattered by a darkness that lurks too close for comfort. The perpetrator, a 17-year-old male named Mark, harbored a dark secret. For months, he had been stalking Sarah, an act of obsessive fixation that twisted into something sinister. This wasn't a fleeting crush. It was a relentless campaign of surveillance, a violation of her privacy and security, fueled by he knew her routines, her favorite ice cream parlor, the path she took home. His obsession culminated on a fateful night as he turned his car into a weapon. He intentionally drove it into the two girls, intending to end their lives, a cold, calculated act of premeditated murder. The details are almost too painful to bear, a stark contrast to the quiet desperation of Curtin's victims, a difference in the immediacy and the senselessness of the violence. The New Jersey attack was a calculated act of violence, a premeditated murder born from obsession. There was no escape, no chance to negotiate, only the cold calculation of an enraged mind. The girls, Sarah and Emily, were robbed of their futures, their potential, their very breath, their lives extinguished in an instant on that quiet suburban street. Their families were thrown into a spiral of grief, a tragedy that would forever shape their lives, leaving an unfillable void. The legal proceedings offered little solace. The families of Sarah and Emily and their community had their own version of grief to navigate. A broken heart, an unfillable emptiness, and the stark reality of losing loved ones in such a brutal way. Detectives worked tirelessly, piecing together the evidence, the digital footprints of Mark's stalking, the eyewitness accounts that painted a horrifying picture of his actions. The media coverage, while providing a platform for remembrance, also became a painful reminder of the horror and the pain. Justice was served in the courtroom, but for those left behind, the wounds would never fully heal. The juxtaposition of these two stories, Curtin's preserved head and the car attack in New Jersey, is a disturbing reflection of the human condition. Curtin, the embodiment of evil from a bygone era, now rests in a display of the macabre. His existence serves as a grim reminder of the darkest corners of the human psyche and the enduring fascination with violence. The stalker, the perpetrator of the New Jersey attack, represents a contemporary iteration of this evil, fueled by a twisted sense of entitlement and a complete disregard for human life, a chilling echo across the decades. The current status of the Curtin exhibit is, well, it's there, a permanent fixture, a source of morbid fascination for some, a source of disgust for others. The head, a tangible representation of a killer's wickedness, still attracts onlookers, a silent testament to unspeakable deeds. The New Jersey case is likely closed, the perpetrator likely serving a lengthy prison sentence, a testament to the consequences of hate and violence. But the victims' families will forever carry the burden of their loss, a perpetual shadow cast over their lives. The impact of these crimes, whether historical or contemporary, goes far beyond the immediate victims. It ripples through society, shattering the illusion of safety and security. The fear of the unknown, the vulnerability of being human, and the pervasive sense that evil can strike at any time leave a lasting scar on our collective consciousness. The quiet streets of Sarah and Emily's hometown, once a sanctuary, now hold a lingering unease. The display of Curtin's head forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. What is the line between morbid curiosity and exploitation? How does society grapple with the legacy of violence? The New Jersey tragedy serves as a chilling reminder that evil is not confined to the history books. It's a potent force that can manifest in our own communities, in the hearts of those we know, and in the darkest corners of our own minds. It begs the question, are we learning from the past, or are we doomed to repeat it in new and horrific ways? These two narratives, although separated by time and circumstance, highlight the enduring nature of evil. The museum display serves as a grim reminder of the past. The New Jersey attack underscores the continued presence of this darkness in our world. Together, they ask us to grapple with the uncomfortable truths of human nature, to acknowledge the potential for evil within ourselves and others, and to strive for a world where such acts are not only punished but, most importantly, prevented. It is a sobering reminder that while the horrors of the past can be put on display, the consequences of those horrors continue to reverberate, impacting all of us forever.